Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And in today's episode we are back with more mods, updates, and add-ons. So stick around guys and I'll tell you what's changed. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkill's tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Okay, so first off, right out of the gate, we have the Wingmans UI that has been updated to support specifically the latest version of the toolbar pushback by ambitious pilots that now allows for pushback pre-planning. One of the major issues was that the UI, if you had the UI installed previously to this update and you tried to use the toolbar pushback from ambitious pilots, the UI for the ambitious pilots pushback tool would not work. It actually wouldn't load. That has now been resolved. Many of you asked actually in my previous video why I was no longer using this UI, and that was the reason, is because that was broken. That functionality has since been restored. So once again, if you guys are interested in using the Wingmans UI, the link to it will be down in the description below. It is a very, very awesome UI. As you can see, it changes everything. It brings everything to the forward menu. No more diving through 26 different menus to get to what you're looking for. Everything from general options to control options to your content manager to all the other different features that are available in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now you still have those primary menus that are up here if you choose to go that route, but this gives it a much sleeker, much more, I think, user-friendly look to the simulator, and I'm really, really grateful that I started using this. I really enjoy this add-on. It makes a lot of things in the background as well when you're actually flying much better, much nicer to use, such as the handlebar is no longer a big problem. It also makes the toolbar menu more transparent, so it's not quite as in your face as what we have seen before prior to the use of this add-on. So really grateful that this was updated. Really enjoy this, and if you guys are interested in checking it out, please check out the link down in the description below, and don't forget to help out the supporter or the developers if you can. All right. For my VR pilots, we've got something special for you guys today here. This actually came out on the 7th, almost a week ago, so hopefully many of you have seen it. But it creates a more subtle VR controller, as you can see. So here's the before shot, and here's the after. This is actually one of the bigger reasons that I actually don't use the VR controllers, is I hate seeing these. And you see this in quite a few different simulations that I've seen where VR controller support is used. Now, I still personally absolutely prefer the physical control. It just, for me, that actually enhances the immersive experience. But for many of you who, for example, enjoy using your VR controllers, this does make a big difference. There's a trade-off between the two. You know, when you talk about VR controllers, you don't have to worry about having all the physical hardware on your desk or in your, your home simulation setup, whatever it may be. As long as you've got those two hand controllers, heck, you could be sitting in your living room and flying away. This add-on definitely makes that experience a little bit better through hiding those controllers. I absolutely despise this kind of thing when I'm flying and testing out things in virtual reality, and actually in any kind of simulation. I don't like being able to see the controllers. There's many simulations and many games in VR that actually show the controllers, and it drives me crazy. I get why they do it, but I'm very much so make sure that whatever display unit you have here represents the game or simulation that you're using it in, so that way it's not quite that immersion breaker. And then seeing over here, I mean, I think you're kind of seeing it here. That's just a shadow. I can't tell if it's just removed or if it really is just a very subtle hint of the VR controller. There is a YouTube link down here if you guys want to check it out. But I did think that this would be something that the VR users who are diehard into VR for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I thought this was something you guys would probably enjoy, so I wanted to make sure to show it on the channel. So let's go ahead and move forward. Next up on our list, we have the Cessna 208 Grand Caravan EX Improvement mod. This mod changed my entire opinion of the Cessna 208. The Caravan was just an aircraft when it first launched that I really wasn't particularly interested in. And it was just, I tried it a few times in its default configuration, and it was very lackluster to me. It was very something that, just an aircraft that I wasn't happy about it all. I felt the turn radius was absolutely atrocious in it. And then getting into, as I tried to reference pilot operational handbooks, the aircraft was nowhere close. I mean, so coming from someone who had no idea how to fly this aircraft, I'm referencing a real world POH. None of the numbers match up, and I finally one day I just gave up on it. Until recently, I have been flying this aircraft more and more, and here's the recent changelog to the Cessna 208. But here is the changelog that has been done for historical. It's a historical release, and this aircraft, it's a brand new plane at this point. When you start looking through all of this, it's a beast of its own. And this has become very much a dependent for me in order for me to fly this aircraft, much like the Cessna Citation Longitude and the TBM 930. Both of those aircraft and their respective improvement modifications truly change the game in the way the aircraft flies, and makes it much easier to fly it according to a pilot's operational handbook and using the normal procedures that you can find online. And so I was very, very excited and very, very grateful to see that this aircraft is once again being updated. This is one that I'm finally getting comfortable enough with that I think I'm going to start showcasing it on the channel. It's kind of a goofy looking plane. At first I thought it was ugly, but it's one of those planes that you sort of fall in love with the more you fly it. So if you guys have not given this a shot, or if you are a 208 fan and you haven't used this particular mod, I highly recommend you guys install it. Again, the link to everything will be down in the description below. Give it a shot and then let me know what you guys think about the comparison, because for me it is absolutely night and day and changed my complete outlook of the 208. Next on our list is something I looked at a long time ago and decided to give another shot, and that was the F35 Improvement mod. Now, this does more quality of life improvements than anything, but it certainly does bring a lot of neat features. And again, I'm going to stick with quality of life and then quality of texturing and visual effects that really weren't with the F35 prior to this. You have everything from new taxi lights, or nose wheel lighting, I should say, that really help to illuminate the runways now. That is a big difference. That is something that I definitely noticed right away, and then now you can even see it during the day. That's certainly a helpful factor. You now have new warnings, new displays options within the simulator directly from the control panel here. Now, the cool thing is that the control panel does more than just bring up some alerts. It gives you much more modification options, gives you the ability to toggle certain add-ons on and off, or certain features on and off, which do really help with that, taking full advantage of what the simulator can offer, and bridge the gap between fantasy and reality as far as what the aircraft really can do to what the mod enables it to do. So all of it can be pretty much controlled right at your fingertips using the touchscreen now. A full list of everything that we've done, or that has been done here, that we have available to us, is shown here on the screen. Feel free to pause that and run through it. But it's much more than just lighting effects, as I said, and then little, smoke effects and things like that. You actually have everything down from the ground proximity warning system to smoke effects to afterburners, and then some, just again, like I said, quality of life features that have been added to the aircraft to make things a bit easier. And then the latest release here, you also have, again, the dedicated heat blower effect, which is definitely something that's really nice to see in more and more of these aircraft. I'm really digging on the new afterburner effect. I meant to take a screenshot of it and I forgot, but there is one available right up here. The afterburners has been something that, in my opinion, has been really lacking in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I haven't really found an aircraft where I was like, ooh, yeah, that's a cool afterburner. This one is the first one that's really starting to hit the mark, and it's nice to see. It still has a long way to go, and again, that's probably due to more limitations to the simulator than anything. But again, if you're an F35 fan and you enjoy flying it in the simulator, I absolutely recommend that you guys give this mod a shot. The F35 isn't really my bag of tea. I do own it. I have flown it. That's just not really what I go for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But if it's a bird that you enjoy, check this out, because the little bit that I did mess with it, I did have fun, and I was grateful that these features are available. So make sure you guys try them out. All right, my friend. Well, that wraps up today's episode of Mods, Updates, Tools, and Add-ons. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the releases that were announced today. Let me know if you guys know of any others that you'd like to see showcased on the channel. I'm always looking for more tools, add-ons, updates, etc. to try out here. It's one of the things that really make the simulation experience fun for me. So if you know any that I haven't checked out, please be sure to comment down below. As always, guys, stay safe and healthy. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you soon.